Welcome to the Drama Queen Perspective, a podcast designed to empower, inspire, educate, and entertain. Drama Queen is a philanthropist, educator, business owner, poet, and performer. So you will be entertained. Find out what's trending. Get a thumbs up or thumbs down on the hottest restaurants, places, and things. And find out ways to help your business grow. And much, much more. Without further ado, here is your host, Drama Queen.
What's up? It's your girl Drama Queen coming to you with another reaction for season 7 of 60 Days In. This reaction is for episode 6 titled The Gambit, which came on September the 22nd, 2022. This particular reaction is going to be all about one of my favorite participants of season 7. And that is none other than Mr. Lucky Chucky himself. Congratulations, Lucky Chucky. You now have another whole video dedicated to just you. Congratulations. All right, so the episode starts off where the episode originally left off, which is Chase giving the signal. Now, one of the things that I will say is that I definitely can understand how Chase's mental was after seeing his daughter and his girlfriend on the video screen. Fortunately for us on season 6, in order to do the video chat, you had to be in the Alabama area. You know, we can get pictures sent via email, but the video chat wasn't available. I don't know if I would have wanted to do it, because even though I feel the way I do about Chase, Lucky Chucky, however you want it, he wants to be addressed, I can see how that can be hard, especially being a prior inmate and, being able to see your family, but you didn't have the option to get out. I can see how that could really play a lot on his mental being, and like, you know what, it's not worth it. I gotta get out of here. I really can see that, because it's like his mind really start working, and he was like, yeah, I think I'm good on this. So I also do understand when he was, like, basically when I said you're on edge, that was one of the memes that's out there on me, and he's like, you gotta be on edge. And he said, the first person that tries me here, I'm gonna hurt him, and he feels the tension. And the thing is, I do understand that. The thing about me doing these reaction videos is good, bad, ugly, indifferent. I'm going to be fair and give my opinion, whether, doesn't matter how I personally feel about you. I get that. You have to be on edge because you are in jail. You don't know who to trust. You're constantly looking around. I remember when I first walked into Etowah County Detention Center, the very first thing that I did was I kind of looked around. I wanted to identify where the doors were. I wanted to see where, the doors, the exits were. I wanted to just kind of identify and have a visual of the area. So you're just constantly on edge. I get that. And then, one of the other things that he said is, if I do anything first, I'm going to be charged. That was one of my biggest fears while I was there, is that I'm not going to start nothing. If I have to defend myself, then yeah, I'm going to do that. But I don't want to be in here and catch a real charge, and then I'm not able to, tap out. I'm trying to help the sheriff and help the jail, but then I put myself in a situation where now I've caught a real charge. And so that is a real fear um, he said that being back in jail is bringing out a part of him that he doesn't like, and that he wants to go home before he loses himself again. I can definitely understand that. I will say this, he was so cocky going in, and that's one of the reasons why I called him a fraud from the beginning, is because when I said fraud, when I was talking about Lucky Chucky, because I'm sure he's going to watch this video, or one of his friends is, I don't know Lucky Chucky personally. When you go on an international television show, people are not judging you personally because they don't know you on a personal level. They're judging you based off of what they see on the television screen and the energy that they feel from you based off of what they see on the screen. So when I said that I felt like Lucky Chucky was a fraud, I felt like he was a fraud because I felt like A, he was there for the wrong reasons, and B, when he made the comment about doing 60 days on his penis, I knew then he was not going to make it the full 60 days in. He was too excited. He was too eager. He had too much confidence and too much cockiness. That is what I meant when I said fraud. I was not trying to diminish anything that he's done in his real life, because I don't know him in his real life, and I don't know his accolades in his real life. I'm strictly reacting off what is seen on the screen. So, I did respect the fact that he said, man, I thought this was going to be a cakewalk, but the mental anguish that I'm experiencing is something else. And that is real shit. That is something that real inmates deal with on a daily basis. And I took it for granted until I dealt with it myself. One of the things that, when he walked into the facility, he just thought he was unbreakable, unshakable. Like, dude, I can do this. And I hope that after this experience, that it was a wake-up call to his cocky ass. I don't believe so, because these episodes were recorded probably in 2021, and I just had my incident with Lucky Chucky on September the 21st, 2022. So I doubt, but maybe he was just going through something at the time when we had our altercation. But like I said, considering that he just sent me a threatening message, I don't think that it's been that much of a wake-up call. One of the things that he said is this program is on a whole different level. You think? One of the things that I did not take into consideration, but I had never been incarcerated before, as far as making it past the, intake process, is the lack of mental health. And that was one of the things. He's like, this is like a mental hospital. This is the hardest time that he's ever had to do psychologically. Yeah. And, Lucky Chucky's not the first one to say that. When I was in Etowah County Detention Center, there were women that were like, I would rather be in prison than this jail, because there are programs that are set up in prison, because prison is meant to be long term where jail is not. And so a lot of jail facilities, they don't care about the recidivism rate. They don't care about setting programs. They don't care about making it comfortable. They are just making it comfortable enough to pass whatever inspections that need to be passed so they can get the funding that they need to get. When asked, does he feel like a quitter for quitting the program, he said no, he didn't. He said he was doing this to be a beacon of change. It's interesting that on the 6th episode of season 7 with prior inmates, that we already have 3 that have tapped out. Now, I need somebody to chime in the comments, please, because I feel like I'm confused because I feel like at one point they said Chase had served 26 years, but then I feel like when I saw it somewhere else it said 13 years. So somebody please chime in the comments and let me know if I'm losing my mind where I'm seeing 26 years and then 13 years, cuz I maybe maybe I was half asleep when I saw it. One of the things that I did think that was very interesting, and I think that Lucky Chucky, if he wasn't so cocky and arrogant and so disrespectful to women, he has some valid points and valid concerns, but sometimes you can't get over that personality or lack of personality. One of the things that he said that kind of touched me is he said, when thinking about the corrections system, he said, I thought it would have evolved over time in this country, prior to his last incarceration. He said he experienced cruel and unusual punishment. Now, let me say this. I'm not going to say that Lucky Chucky did not experience cruel and unusual punishment. I'm not going to say that because I know from being on the show, we see a limited amount of footage of what actually occurred in the facility. What I will say is this. What I saw, the interactions that I saw on camera with Lucky Chucky, I didn't feel like he experienced cruel and unusual punishment. I felt like he was disrespectful. I felt like him calling the guards out of their name, yelling, screaming, doing all of that. You got what you got, bruh. It is what it is. He also talked about something that I'm glad, again, thank you so much, production company and A&E, for concentrating on this nutrition part of the jail, because that was one of my goals when I was a participant on season 6 was to talk about the nutrition or lack thereof, and especially for those that have autoimmune diseases, food intolerances, food allergies, food sensitivities, all of the above. He said, I've only got milk one time and I've received no fresh fruit, not even canned fruit. And in prison, he said that he would get milk every day and sometimes twice a day. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the sheriff because there were some things that I get both points and I'm torn. One of the things that the sheriff said when Lucky Chucky was talking to him during his debriefing session was, the sheriff said, oftentimes jail is an upgrade. You're going to get 3 meals a day and medical care. My thing is, if the 3 meals are shitty and the 3 meals aren't balanced and the 3 meals do not provide the nutritional value that is needed on a daily basis, is shitty food and shitty medical care better than no medical care or no food? I mean, I guess it depends on where your mind is. Because for me, the medical care was horrible in Etowah County Detention Center. The medical care was horrible. The mental care for those that were suffering with mental, issues, it was non-existent. The food was, there were times that we had excellent food, that I myself had gluten-free food that was good, that I could actually enjoy. So I would say we did not get fruits and vegetables every single day, but there was access to milk every day. And I would say at least once a day I had access to some type of fruit or vegetable. Whether I liked it or not, I had access to it. It baffles me that in this jail, those things aren't considered. And one of the things that, that the sheriff said is, they don't want to make it comfortable. If you want to eat certain foods, if you want to have milk a certain amount of meals, then you need to stay out of jail. Yeah, I get it to a certain point. It's not about being specific. It's about, are your meals providing the nutritional value that is needed on a daily basis for your inmates? That is a valid question. It's a valid question. Chase felt like he was fighting for basic human rights, and he felt like during his debriefing session, the sheriff ignored him. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact of who Chase is. And, he kept talking about freedom and freedom. That should never come up. You knew when you volunteered to be a part of 60 Days In that your freedom was going to be gone. I can see you complaining about not getting the milk, not getting the, fruits. And I don't think you said vegetables. I think you just said fruits. No fresh fruits. He also said he mentally reverted back to the old him. And the reason why he decided to tap out is because his mental health and his physical health and safety and his freedom are essentially why he left. And he had me, I was cool on everything until he said freedom. He could have left that out because, like I said, you knew freedom was something that you weren't going to have. It's jail. Something else that Chase said that I agree with is, you want someone to act like a human being, you got to treat them like a human being. You want respect, you give respect. If you treat someone like an animal, they're going to act like an animal. And that is, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see where Sheriff Reginald, in Chase's mind, he talks about the recidivism rate in other countries. So he talked about the recidivism rate in Norway being 20%, and that their jails look like hotels, and that the sense of dignity is vital. And I get the sense of dignity. And I have seen some of these jails and prisons in other countries that it looks like a country club. And I'm like, whoa, I would be fighting to go to jail. If I was homeless on the street or whatever, it's like, that's an upgrade. So I get where Chase says, the sense of dignity is vital. However, I also get what Sheriff is saying when he says recidivism addresses the mind. The mind. He said you got to give a person hope, direction, skill sets that can lead to employment. And that is what truly negates recidivism. If you make people feel comfortable in jail, they will be back if you made it easy for them. And he also, he addressed Lucky Chucky when he said, you said you want to get out. You don't want to ever come back. That is the goal. I don't want you to be comfortable where you want to come back. I see both points, whether I am a fan or not of Lucky Chucky. See, this is why it's important to not go into a situation thinking that you know everything and being cocky, because every situation is different. Yes, you've been incarcerated 13 to 26 years or somewhere in between there, but you were not incarcerated for the whole world to see and judge your every move. Lucky Chucky, you are on an international television show. People are going to make reaction videos about you, your personality, your TikTok videos, and all of that. if you can't stand the heat, get your ass out the kitchen. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb, whose fleece was white as snow. Drama Queen is out.
Thanks for listening to the Drama Queen Perspective. Be sure to like and subscribe this podcast and share with the drama queens in your life. Until next time, this has been the Drama Queen Perspective.